We're not here for boxing either. Okay, I'm getting it all wrong. Guys, it's Jess here from Proactivity, and we are here for session number 3. I hope you guys have absorbed in a bit of the information that we have covered over the last 2 sessions. I know there is a lot to take on, so please make sure that you do ask the question if you are not sure. I'm sure that people are happy to help answer them, okay? Really good idea to work through as a group rather than trying to do this as an individual, okay? Now, again, I can't stress more about trying to get involved, whether you are already involved in group sport or individual sport, to try and get yourself active in some way. Walking is fine, okay? Walking is no issue. You want to just make sure that you can get your heart rate up, okay? Steady state is fine. We would like to try and peak it a little bit above that, which is what some of these exercises, or most of these exercises, will actually do for you, okay? Now, we are going to, in today's session, I have, with every session I have showed you and every exercise, I have provided a regression and a progression, okay? So I provided something advanced and something at a real entry level, okay? It's really important that you know those and that you learn those, because even if you think someone is able to do the advanced exercise, they might surprise you. They might not feel comfortable on the day. They might, have an injury from a day before or whatever it might be, okay? It's always important, all right, to have the knowledge of being able to regress an exercise and make it easier for someone, okay? You don't have to know too many exercises. There are so many to learn, okay? But the ones I have shown you are technically the ones, as I've said, for basic, functional, everyday life, okay? So keep them in the back of your memory bank and try and work on them yourself and try and get better and better at them and improve, because doing this is about improving, okay? You could do 1,000 push-ups or 1,000 burpees, but if you don't get better at it, okay, what's the point in doing them, okay? So make sure you do things with purpose, okay, and do them for you, okay? Again, I can't stress enough about not doing it because it's good that your friends are doing it. If you want to be involved, great, but you have to love what you do, okay? And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You be who you are and love what you do, okay? So, progressing and regressing exercises. We're also talking about providing variation, all right? So what is variation to an exercise? Variation is providing something like a squat, and I'm going to put a variation in it by adding a little pulse in between and then standing up. So I'm going to squat, pulse, down and up. That is providing a little bit of variation in someone's training. So if you've done squats day in, day out, and you're like, I'm sick of squats. I've done 500 of them and they're boring now. Well, then you want to add and provide variation in an exercise, okay? We did walkouts as one of our exercises. Walkouts. My variation to this, I'm going to drop to my knees, I'm going to push up. Now I'm going to come back up, and I'm going to stand back up. My variation I have added is a push-up, all right? And just by adding that one little extra movement, all right, has given that exercise of a walkout, it makes it a bit more exciting, okay? So what I would like you to do with today's session is to think about your exercises you are doing and how you can incorporate some variation into your exercises, okay? Because the last thing you want to do is continue to do this. You don't want to get bored. You want to keep things exciting, okay? So the exercises we have learned, you can incorporate them and mix them up, okay? A bit like a party mix. Make it a party, make it exciting, alrighty? So why do we have to add variation exercise? Why do we have to do that? All right, like I just said, it keeps variety and it keeps excitement, all right, into what you do. We don't want people to become stagnant and bored with exercise because it should be an exciting thing, okay? So we add variation into exercises to exactly that, to vary it, okay? Also, what we will talk about today is about when doing these exercises is to make sure that we find things that are challenging. So I will ask you as part of this, what was one exercise that challenged you and how can you challenge yourself further? All right, what was one exercise that you really didn't like, but how could you change that? Okay, so think about that in your mind because we're going to be doing that at the end. What's one thing that really challenged you? Oh geez, 30 seconds of burpees. That was really tough. How could you make it harder and more interesting? Okay, oh, but you know what? Bloody squats, I'm sick of squats. I find that easy. Well, how can I put variation? How can I make this harder for myself? All right, something you don't like, how can you enjoy it? Okay, all right, so let's get started with that. We are going to go into variation. So, first one was a walkout to push-up. I just showed you that. Walkout into push-up. So everything we do here, we're going to do 10 reps of everything. All right, 10 reps. So as I talk, you guys go through it. All right, you're not here. I want you to make sure that you're doing the movements. Practical learning is a really great way to learn rather than listening to me the whole time talking. So as I am talking, I want you to roll through the exercises, okay, as I do these. And that also gives me a chance to breathe, okay? Cool, so complete your 10. If you need to pause the video to finish them, then you can hit pause to complete it. Okay, that is exercise 1. We're going to go through 6 of these again. Okay, that's with variation. We're going to go for squats. Okay, we're going to squat twice. 1, 2, and we're going to add 2 jump squats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. 1, 2. Keep going with that. Okay. This is adding variation into your squat. Nice work. Working hard there. Well done. Cool. And next one, we'll go down onto the ground into our plank. Okay. And we're actually going to do a plank here. We're actually going to add, we've got mountain climbers. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, if I need to throw a regression into that for someone, okay, they can do their shoulder taps instead. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And mountain climbers for 4. Okay. All right. Our next one is going to be our burpee with a lateral jump. So we're going to go chest to ground, up, jump across, jump across, jump across. All right, keep going with that. If you need to regress it, step it out, step across, out, in, step across. Okay? Good work, well done. So remember we're trying to do 10 reps of every exercise that I'm giving you here. All right, and you should come up and you should be feeling pretty puffed from it all. All right. Now remember, if we need to pause it so that we can complete it, to make sure the video is paused. Okay. Otherwise, keep rolling through, or like I would say, drop your rep range down. Okay, to make it suitable for your group. Cool. Our next one, we're going to go into a little bit more simple. We're going to do a side lunge with a back lunge. A side lunge with a back lunge. All right, we'll change sides here. Side lunge, reverse lunge. Side lunge, reverse lunge. So with our side lunge, weight through the outside leg, nice and straight through the inside, and we drive off that leg and back. Okay? Weight through here, drive up, step back. So there is some variation into a lunge. All right, we're moving laterally through the hips. All right, so putting some different movement through the body. All right, rather than always hinging through those hips. Cool. There's another one. We want to make it more dynamic again. We'll stay upright with this. So we're going to do our star jumps. 1, 2 star jumps. We're going to do 2. 1, 2 star jumps. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you can speed it up if you want to, and to regress it if you need, step it. Step. Okay. Remember, you always make it work for you. Step, step. Cool. So there's another one there. I think we've got another 2 to go. Alrighty. So our next 2, we are going to roll out here. We'll do a little bit more stuff on the core. Okay. Will be our basic sit-ups. Now we haven't really gone through sit-ups just yet, so I will take you through them. Nothing too complex about it. Really important to make sure you tuck your chin into your chest as you roll down. Okay, and you want to make a C curve with your spine. Alright, so don't just throw yourself back. You tuck it in, come down slow, and then you sit yourself back up. Tuck your chin in, curl, and up. Curl it, and up. Make sure you make a C curve with that spine. Now, if we can't get ourselves up, that is completely okay. I want you to pop your hands onto your legs, and you're going to drive your fingertips towards your knees and slowly come down. Right? Really key that you make sure that you lift through your stomach. Right? You've got to lift through your tummy on this one. Okay, we're going to go from sit-ups, okay, into, we're going to try it for a rolling stand up and jump and come back down. Alright? So you can stand yourself up. Now if you need to use 2 hands, that's fine. Okay, if you can't get up at all, I just want you to roll backwards and roll forwards. Okay, roll backwards and roll forwards. Okay. Alright. Now, last exercise we will throw into this with our variation. Okay, we will throw in our running. So we're going to run. Alright, so we're going to run. You can either use your distance that we did before, so it's sprint, tap, sprint, tap, sprint, tap. Okay, but for every end we hit, I want you to get down to the ground on it. Okay, we're going to tap, jump down, run, tap, jump down, tap, jump down. Right. Otherwise get here and you can jump. 1, 2, run to your point. 1, 2, run to your point. 1, 2, run to your point. 1, 2. Okay, that's really going to get that ticker flying high. Okay, and that's added variation to our run by adding one little movement, okay, into what we do. Whew. Okay, so make sure whatever it is that you do choose, that it's applicable again to your partner. So maybe running, you may need to walk, sorry. You might be walking, they might be squatting. Okay, they might have to walk and squat. Okay, that is completely fine. It is still moving our body. It's better than standing still or sitting on your bottom. Okay, don't be stagnant. Don't sit still. Try and get your 20 minutes to 30 minutes a day, and most of you guys probably play at school anyway, which is great. But if not, try and get yourself involved in some of the sporting activities that the school has to offer as well, okay, which is really important. That's what it's there for, all right? We want you to have every opportunity, and we want you to do your best and try your best, and that's all we can ask for, okay, is to give things a go. Okay, so the last part of this session 3 video is I'm going to take you through, this will be a task of yours, is you need 2 exercises, to pick any 2, and you need to find a way to progress them and to regress them down. So I'm going to use don't use my example. I want you to pick 2 new ones. Okay, I'm going to pick a big squat jump I'm doing a big explosive squat jump as my first exercise. Now, I've got Jane down the road, okay, who has got really sore knees, and she doesn't really like jumping because she finds it really heavy on the body. So I've got to think of a way for Jane that I could make this exercise a bit easier for Jane. Okay, Jane, I'm going to come in, and I know you don't really like jumping, and I know your knees are a bit sore. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get you to squat for me. Cool. Yeah, that feels great, Jess. Thanks for giving me that. That feels fantastic. Okay. Now, Jane's been doing this for a bit. So as we've talked about at the start here, have variations. You're like, Jess, this is good, but I'm getting a bit bored of squatting. All right, Jane, what I want you to do now is I want you to add a little pulse, and then you're going to stand up. All right, we did our variations, and I'm adding this in. Oh, this is good, Jess, thank you. Yeah, this is great, and I'm getting my heart rate up a little bit here too. I can't jump, but still I can actively participate with what everyone else is doing, and I've just been given something different. So while we've got 10 other people jump squatting, I've got 3 people over here doing a squat or a variation, okay, of a squat. So there is one exercise for me. I've progressed it with my jump squats, and I've also regressed it with my squats, okay? Making sure that we're always correcting and critiquing their technique to make sure they're doing it properly to prevent any injury, okay? The next exercise I'm going to give Jane, I guess Jane's my mate now, Jane's here, okay, is going to be something that I can progress and regress down, is I'm going to give Jane, I know Jane loves burpees, I'm going to give her a burpee. I know she can't jump, so should I give her a burpee? Probably not. If she's finding it really hard to get up and jump anyway, I wouldn't give her a burpee to do, all right? That just seems a bit silly. If she's finding it hard to do this, why would I get her to try and get all the way down? Oh, poor Jane. Oh, jeez. Jane just struggled then. I wouldn't give that to her. So if the first exercise you have given to them, they've had to regress down, straight away you know, I wouldn't put burpees in. I love them because that gets my heart rate going and it gets me ticking. But I'm not going to give it to Jane because she's going to struggle and then she's going to hate it, and we don't want that. Okay? People need to love exercise and love what you do. Okay? So I'm going to give Jane something a little bit more simple. I'm going to give Jane some little star steps. Yeah? Now she feels she's like at an 80s disco party. She's dancing away, the music's gone, she's like, woo! Okay, Jane feels good, her heart rate's getting up here, she doesn't have to get on the ground. That's a great exercise. Beautiful, so Jane, don't worry about burpees. We're going to give you this one here. Now if you'd like to advance it, Jane, you could have a little bit of a jump to it. All right, don't even have to open those legs up. You could jump up and down and just keep moving those arms. All right, so Jane could do this. And Jane could also do this. She wants to take the jump out. She's still doing full body movement and full range, okay? But I am giving her options, all right? It is very important to give people options, all right? You don't have to direct it at the person unless you're doing something one-on-one or two-on-one. You've got a big group, always demonstrate people options for them, okay? That way you can't go wrong. If they then have to have something further, they might say to you, hey Jess, I'm still kind of struggling with that. Is there an alternative you could give me? And hopefully in the back of your mind, or hopefully you've learnt enough that you can provide them something a little bit different, okay? It's common knowledge and common sense with some of it. When we are doing the big groups, it's really important to make sure we can try and keep most people doing the same thing, okay? Particularly when we're first starting out, because then that way you can see, all right, who's doing it right, who needs a bit of correction, okay, if everyone does the same exercise together, all right? One thing we don't want is, we've got 3 people there, 3 people here, 3 people here, you've got 15 people, 5 groups set up, and they're all doing a different exercise, and you're new to this, and you're going, holy crap, oh my God, oh, no, they're lunging wrong, oh, they're squat jumps, no, they can't do burpees, oh my God, this is crazy. All right, if you're doing your groups and you're going to do a big group, and that's part of an assessment that you have to run a big group, here's a hot tip. Just get everyone to do the same thing as a group. Okay? You can't go wrong instructing it and trying to correct someone doing the same thing. Okay? That's why we make sure we have options, okay, in our group sessions. You need to make sure that you are you're suiting someone that's on that fitter scale, but you're also, it's suitable for someone that is new to this. Okay, they may not have done it at all before. So you've got the new person coming in, but you've got the people that have been doing it for 6 months or 12 months. Okay, always have an option B, even C, for people to choose. Okay, now we've performed the regressions and we've performed progressions. All right, now I want you guys to give this a go. You don't have to use my two. Remember, I used squats and jump squats. Okay, I didn't do burpees because Jane didn't like them. I used star jumps or step outs, okay, as my two. Now, I'll list them off and I'll go through and you guys can figure out a way, you can do it as a group or do it as an individual, on how you think you might regress and progress your exercises. You already know the squats, I've showed that to you. Your lunge. All right, you can't really regress this because this is as far as it goes. All right, but you can progress it deeper. So I'm giving you some hot tips already. I'm already giving it away. All right, so how can you progress that exercise? So you can pause if you'd like, and you can have a think about it, or you can go straight into it. Some of you guys might already know. All right, so how do you progress and advance a lunge? Okay, next one. How could I regress this one? How can I make this easier for someone? I'm not going to show you. I want you guys to have a think about it. So if I keep showing you, you're not going to learn. Okay, how can I make that easier for someone? Yep. How can I make, we've done our squats, we've done lunges, we've done our two-step side dash. Okay, how can I make our burpees easier for someone? All right, I'm going to show you the hard version of burpees. All right, so if you remember, I've done it in the video, how do we make that easier for someone? Okay, and if they're really struggling, like Jane did, I just didn't give it to her. Okay, I gave her something else instead. Okay, so rather than regressing it, I replaced it because Jane couldn't do that at all. And remember, we want Jane and the rest of her crew and all you guys, all your classmates, we want you guys to be enjoying this together. Okay, you should be coming away with elbows and heel kicks. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video session 3, and we're on to our final video where just about now, hopefully you've learned quite a few exercises, whether you've noted them down or you've screenshot or you've in your memory bank, okay, is to try and apply these yourself. All right, before you go and roll it out and be like, cool, I know all these exercises. Well, do you really know them? Give them a go, okay? Make sure you try each one. If you're going to give someone 30 seconds with a 15-second rest, you got to do it yourself. All right, and see how you feel, all right, doing these exercises, okay? I really hope you have fun with it. You've got to make it energetic, you've got to make it exciting, you've got to be encouraging to your teammates, and it is about working in a group as a team, all right? Really important to keep that in the back of your mind, okay? That you are working, even though you may be instructing it, they're your team, they're your teammates. You want them to work with you, I want them to work with me. Okay, this is a team. All right, things aren't done in, there's no I in team, we've all heard that saying. Okay, so have a bit of fun with it, get excited, get motivated, all right, and let's get your peers, all right, or your friends or family, let's get them fit. Okay, we've all been sitting in ISO for 6 months. You might have had school holidays. Okay, let's work together and let's achieve something really great. Have fun.